Oh hell no. Hey guys, welcome to Review Friday, where I will be discussing Deep Breath. We are on to a new season of Doctor Who, and we have a new doctor, Mr. Capaldi, which I am very excited for him to be aboard. So we are going to have a bit of a change with this new doctor. Capaldi is supposed to be very serious as the doctor, as opposed to Matt Smith and David Tennant, who was very kind of goofy acting. So we'll see how this plays out. I really hope before I continue that the majority of you have already been able to see the new episode and have already been able to process all of that into your mind. The way this episode started out, the first half of it was kind of a little bit slow because we're trying to get introduced to Capaldi as the new doctor. And as the story progressed, then it started to pick up a little pace, and then towards the middle to the end half of the episode is where everything starts picking up. Right off the bat, we get introduced to a Tyrannosaurus Rex who spits out the TARDIS, and that is how we are introduced to Capaldi. Capaldi just regenerated from Matt Smith, and his memory is completely wonky. He doesn't remember anything. He doesn't know who Clara is. He barely remembers who he is. As we kept watching him in the storyline, he seems to pick up his memory here and there, but he's still a little bit fuzzy. He seems to remember who Amy was. He mentioned her only a slight little bit. Every now and then he's kind of like, what is this? Why is this? Who is this? I love in the first episode that we bring back Strax, who was a very hilarious character, as well as Madame Vastra and Jenny, who play a very, very important role in this episode. I do love the fact that Moffat focused a lot on Jenny and Madame Vastra and focused on their relationship and their love for each other. Anybody else besides me love to have an off-character development series with Jenny and Vastra, because I would love to see how their love form and more of their background history. I love the chemistry that the two of them have together, and I would love to see an off series just like they did with Jack. Even though Torchwood was kind of it was still pretty cool to see like little bits of history of Jack before he was brought into Doctor Who. I think it would be amazing if they did the same thing with the two of them. Strax is also definitely one of my favorites. He is so comical in every little thing he does. He has little tidbits here and there at Clara, and I just crack up every time he speaks. So back to the episode. Yes, at the beginning it was kind of but we're trying to get introduced to the doctor, and it's kind of new for us, so they have to kind of take it slow. Although there are some things here and there they probably could have left out, but I'm pretty sure Moffat included those things there for a reason. Those reasons I would like to point out at the beginning: the T-Rex. The T-Rex was the very first thing that we saw in that episode, and it spat out the TARDIS. Now, if you guys watch this episode all the way to the end, we are introduced to a new character, Missy. And the whole world is trying to figure out who is this Missy character. I had a few little opinions about who Missy may be, and after looking on like forum boards all over the place, it seems like a lot of people seem to agree with me, and other people's explanations seem a little bit more better than mine. So showing the whole T-Rex thing, if Moffat included that for a reason, I think it has something to do with the Rani. Now, the Rani is a character from previous Doctor Who, the old classic Doctor Who, so many of you may not know who she is. She is who had worked with the Master and was out to kill the Doctor, which I find actually kind of interesting because she worked with the Master, and most people are saying Missy. Missy, that is short for Mr., which is in short for Master. So I'm kind of putting the two and two together. Master, Rani, maybe? What we remember of the Rani, in her episode, it had something to do with a T-Rex. So I'm trying to put the two and two together because the Doctor put the Rani and the Master in their TARDIS and trapped them in there along with an embryo of a T-Rex. So I'm wondering if that has something to do with why the first season with Capaldi has something to do with the T-Rex. This is just my little maybe it has something to do with that, because if Moffat wasn't going that way, then the T-Rex pretty much wasn't really important. It was just kind of there. So I'm kind of hoping it was the Rani, because then the T-Rex would be like, oh, that's why he used their T-Rex. And Moffat did say that we would be revisiting old faces. So maybe we could be revisiting old faces from the Rani. He could be going back to like the classic Doctor Who. Who knows? That would be actually pretty awesome if we could see some characters coming back from there. Another note that Capaldi had said was, I've seen this face before, this face looks familiar. And he's saying this over and over again, of course with his memory just completely shot. He says that his face looks familiar, but he's really unsure why. A few things without having a conversation with some people. I'm thinking it has something to do with the fires of Pompeii. Remember that he saved Kaikilis. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that name right. Kaikilis? We all remember that that was actually Capaldi who played as Kaikilis. So I'm wondering if that has a factor, because the Doctor does tend to take the form of someone very important. So when he's saying, this face looks very familiar, I'm wondering if maybe that's because of Kaikilis from the Fires of Pompeii, but then I'm really not too sure what sort of importance he plays. But that's the only logical explanation that I can think of. Unless there's something Moffat is not telling us, which all the time Moffat just loves to just make our brains go. Reason why I do love Capaldi as the new Doctor is because he gets to keep his Scottish accent, and he made sure to emphasize to Moffat and everybody else, I'm keeping my Scottish accent and there's nothing you can do about it. In the episode when he says, oh, I'm Scottish, oh, this is good, I can complain about things, I just cracked up. I found that remotely hilarious. I'm pretty sure my British and Scottish friends will all understand and get a crack out of it. So jump later, more of the middle of the episode, we are introduced more of like the robots, not really sure what they are. We know that they're trying to rebuild themselves using skin and parts from all the humans. They're trying to achieve all of this because they are trying to get home, they're trying to get to heaven. And I forget the name of the place, the main place. My brain is just like all scrambled all over the place trying to like research and do everything. But they're trying to get to a certain place. And by doing that, they're killing the humans and taking their skin and parts of their bodies and forming it together, which is pretty gross. And later on, the Doctor is with the robot. Don't even know if he has a name. I'm pretty sure he said his name, but I don't slightly remember. But they're in an escape pod, which is made out of human skin. Ew, slightly disturbing. And the robot is trying to tell the Doctor, I'm trying to get to heaven, which the Doctor keeps implying it's just a fairy tale, it's made up, there's no such thing as heaven, you need to die and just, you need to get the story out of your head. Then that brings us to the Doctor actually killing him. He wakes up and he lands in this weird, mysterious garden, which almost looks very familiar to The Girl Who Waited. If you are very familiar, it is the episode where Amy Pond was left pretty much her entire life in this mystical, magical garden. And that is where we are introduced to the new character, Missy. Everyone is trying to put in their two little tidbits on who the hell is this Missy person. She claims that this is heaven, he has made it, this is paradise. And that's pretty much it. It pans around to pretty much the whole garden, which mysteriously looks like a TARDIS, but it's very identical to the garden that Amy Pond was in The Girl Who Waited. I wonder if that's something related. So now we have the same, I know people like to reuse the same sceneries and stuff, but it's just identical. So there's got to be a reason why that looks too much like that episode. Missy, most people are thinking it's Clara, other people are saying it's River Song, but it doesn't really make sense if it's River Song because yes, she calls the Doctor her boyfriend. If she was going back in time, he wasn't really her boyfriend. In the future, she's his wife. If she was River Song as the early stages, she was still trying to kill him and it wasn't a whole boyfriend. Very confusing. People claim that it's Clara because of the attire and the way she kind of looks. Something with the umbrella is the same as the one that Clara used. I tried to look up where this was and I could not find anything. So if you know exactly where I should look, let me know. I think it's either the Rani or it's the TARDIS. Can't remember the name of the episode, but it is where we are introduced to the TARDIS as human form. She was a little bit kooky. Her character is very, very similar to this Misty character. If you notice when they panned around, she did like this little like bite thing, and that is actually what the TARDIS did too. Other thing I'd like to mention is that she called the Doctor her boyfriend, which the TARDIS did as well. I like his accent. I think I'll keep it. She remembers she stole the Doctor. The Doctor didn't steal her, and she has like this fascinating obsession with him. So it kind of fits more in with her being the TARDIS or as Randy. So I'm really not too sure at this point. It's only the first episode to try and assume anything, but these little things here and there are kind of like, I don't know. Oh, so one other thing that I would like to point out is that Capaldi was mentioning that I've seen this before. This looks very familiar, and he couldn't remember. So when he was in the pod of the skin, it said the Madame of Pompeii, I can't pronounce it, the Madame of, you know the name of the ship, the fireplace episode. I'm pretty sure I'm not saying any of this right. It's the exact same thing. The robots are actually very, very similar. So I wonder if that has something to do with that as well, but then what would she have any connection with? I don't know. Moffat just likes to just do this. Moffat just kind of pulled in there. I mean, the end of the episode of The Girl in the Fireplace, it didn't show any harm to the ship. The ship was just kind of floating in there. So, I mean, something could have happened afterwards, or maybe it could have been before the Doctor landed there. I guess we just have to keep watching to find out. Oh, it's just little things here and there that he threw at us to make us go, what? Wait, that and what, and we'll connect everything later. I know that he's going to bring in some Daleks, and I think some Cybermen are going to be reappearing as well, and I'm really excited to see who the old faces we will be seeing. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. Hopefully you guys have had enough time to actually see it. What was your thoughts about it? I know that at the beginning of the episode it was kind of and then it kind of picked up at the end, which was kind of more of my favorite was towards, and I've only been able to watch it twice, so I really am not sure at this point what the hell is going on. I just have to wait to see what Moffat will bring in. But let me know who you think Missy is. A bunch of people think that it is a future self of Clara, River's song, maybe Ronnie like me. Only some people think it's Ronnie because of the connection with the T-Rex. Or do you think that it could be the TARDIS because of the whole boyfriend and snarl thing? Or it could be just a new original character. Moffat does like to do that and be like, guys, stop overanalyzing. It's a new character. Relax. So we all may be trying to fill around and trying to figure out who this Missy person is when it just could be no one. I'm very, very excited for Capaldi. I think he's going to be a terrific Doctor. We just gotta give it some time. I remember when Eccleston was a Doctor and I was like, I do not like Eccleston, and then I was like, I like Eccleston, and then David Tennant came in, I was like, he's cute, and I was like, I really love Tennant. And then Matt Smith came in and he had to really, really grow on me because I did not like Matt Smith for a very, very long time. I think when Pond started like working with him, then I was like, maybe I do like Smith. And Smith has a lot of important roles with River songs, so I mean, just give Capaldi a try. He is an amazing actor and I absolutely love him, so he will be a terrific Doctor. It's going to be very serious. It's not going to be like the very comical Doctor Who that we used to know, but if you remember in the classic Doctor Who's, it was actually kind of on the serious side too. It's comical for us now looking back at it because it's just kind of weird. It's ridiculous. It's not like what we're used to watching. What is that noise? Thanks for watching. If this is your first time here, hi, my name is Panda. You should subscribe down below because I do post videos every Wednesday and Fridays for reviews. Also leave a comment down below on what you think I should review next. I'll see you guys all later. I cannot wait for the next Doctor Who's. I am very, very excited. My Saturdays are going to be filled with joys. I will see you guys later. I love you. Bye.
You don't have those.
Oh.
Nope. Nope.